The air shimmered as the group stepped through the portal, their surroundings shifting instantly. The grand architecture of the Holy Kingdom unfolded before them, bathed in the soft glow of enchanted lanterns. "We have arrived," one of them murmured, his voice laced with awe. "Whoa, it's magnificent," another breathed, eyes tracing the intricate carvings along the towering pillars. Irene Pereira shifted uncomfortably, glancing at his unrestrained wrists. "Shouldn't you have cuffed my hands or something?" "Humph, how boring," came the dismissive response. "This game is already over." The words carried a weight that sent a chill through the air. Sir Sharper arrived before us. He should have already taken care of everything. The speaker turned, a slow smirk forming. "Irene Pereira, do you think you can go against the power I've accumulated till this day? It's over." A heavy silence settled over them, only to be broken by the arrival of a messenger. As promised, the Frishid County acts fast. The moment of certainty shattered like glass. "Huh?" The speaker hesitated. His gaze darted towards a lone figure standing at the entrance. Who is he? Judging by his robes, the newcomer was no ordinary warrior. Judging from his clothing, is he a holy knight? A deep, familiar voice cut through the murmurs. "Long time no see." Irene turned sharply, his heart beating. "It's been a while," the holy knight continued. His gaze was calm, unreadable. "I got your message. You defeated a demon?" Irene nodded, his expression steady. "Yes. I acted before I could report it to you. I apologize for not informing you sooner." The holy knight studied him before offering a nod of approval. "No, thanks to your quick actions, we were able to stop them before they grew stronger. Good job." Irene let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Thank you." But just as relief began to settle in, the holy knight's expression darkened slightly. "I also have something I need to talk to you about." Irene frowned. I heard what happened. However, there is something that you must attend to first." He hesitated, then spoke again, his words slow, deliberate. "There is someone who wants to meet you." "Pardon? Me?" A brief pause, then, "His Majesty, the Holy King, would like to see you." Irene felt his heartbeat quicken. His Majesty. He could barely believe it. "For real?" The Holy Knight's expression remained firm. "However, I already have something I must see to," Irene began, his voice uncertain. "I understand what you're saying," the Holy Knight interrupted. "But you have done everything you needed to. You don't need to concern yourself with it any further. Leave this to us, the Holy Kingdom." Irene hesitated, his hands clenching at his sides. Then, after a long pause, he exhaled. "I understand. I'll leave it to you then." A sudden burst of energy filled the air as a cheerful voice called out, "All right then, young Master Pereira, it's been a while." Irene turned, blinking in surprise. "Anya?" Before he could react, a glowing portal materialized before him. "This portal connects to the door of the audience chamber," Anya explained with a grin. "Please step inside, Sir Pereira." Irene hesitated, glancing at his companions. "And may I go with him?" one of them asked. "Of course. The cost of opening a portal isn't affected by the number of people who use it." Irene took a deep breath. "I'll be taking my leave," the Holy Knight announced. "Now then, I should get back to business." Irene took a step forward, feeling the pull of magic as he crossed the threshold. "To think it only took one step to get here," he muttered. His surroundings shifted again, revealing an ornate hall adorned with banners bearing the Holy Kingdom's crest. So fascinating. Is this mystical power? Of course. Anya's mystical powers are always surprising. A figure stood at the far end of the hall, watching him with keen eyes. "Young Master Irene Pereira, only you are allowed to enter." Irene swallowed hard, nodding. "Okay." The doors creaked open. "Please enter." Irene stepped forward, his footsteps echoing against the polished marble floor. A voice greeted him, smooth and commanding. "Oh, so that's who you are." Ire Ensreath caught in his throat as he locked eyes with the Holy King. Irene Pereira. The weight of centuries of wisdom bore down on him. "We finally meet." The Holy King raised a hand. "Come forward." Irene stepped closer, All right. A shadow moved beside the throne. Someone else was watching. Who is she? Erin wondered. But before he could ask, the Holy King spoke again. I'd been hearing of your name here and there, so I wanted to meet and converse with you. Erin straightened his shoulders, drawing a deep breath. To be honest, there is something I wanted to talk to you about, Your Majesty. The Holy King tilted his head. Oh, to me? Go ahead. And so, Erin began. He spoke of corruption, of suffering, of a merchant whose wealth drowned out the cries of the innocent. The Holy King listened, his expression unreadable. When Erin finished, the silence was deafening. I see. Then came the words Erin never expected. The fact that Gale Wise of the Wise Merchant has been doing unrighteous things is something I was already aware of. Erin's blood ran cold. What? And then, the conversation took a turn. A battle of ideals, a clash of belief and reality. Erin argued with all the conviction in his heart, but the Holy King's wisdom loomed over him like an immovable mountain. And yet, I will do everything I can, Erin declared, his voice unwavering. I will win the Heroes Tournament. I will show you my skills in every way possible so that hope can bloom in everyone's hearts. His hands clenched into fists. I will do everything I can to erase fear. The Holy King studied him for a long moment. Then, at last, he spoke. The swordsmen who are competing in the Heroes Tournament have been allocated a separate lodging. Ava, if there is anything he needs, please assist him. Yes, Your Majesty. Erin exhaled, exhaustion finally catching up to him. Had he done the right thing? Only time would tell. But then, Erin, open up. A familiar voice, impatient and full of energy. I know you're in there. The door burst open. Judith. Brett? Erin barely had time to react before Judith grabbed his arm. We need to go now. Erin blinked. Go where? It's a festival. Erin let out a short laugh, shaking his head. So much had happened, and yet, some things never changed.